Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand why is Article 371 of the Indian Constitution in news lately. Now, the reason why we have picked up this particular topic for our today's discussion would be very clear once you understand the context. Now, what happened on Monday, the administration of the Union Territory of Ladakh, they announced that they will constitute autonomous hill development councils in each of 7 districts in the Union Territory of Ladakh. And this has brought a very important question. The question is basically how the political power would be distributed and exercised in the Union Territory of Ladakh, which ultimately achieves the aim of more popular governance, that is governance done by the people themselves. Right? Now what happened? After the slew of administrative measures were announced, the administration of Union Territory of Ladakh said that our measure is intended to deepen the grassroots governance. But the members of civil society, especially their groups like Apex Body of Leh and Kargil Democratic Alliance, do not feel the same. They feel that this measure by the government is only going to weaken the political structure that they've demanded for a long period of time to be constituted as per the Article 371 of the Constitution. So what is the demand of the civil society organizations of Ladakh? What is the demand government trying to fulfill? And why is there a discontinuity between these two separate set of demands and fulfillment? That is what we are going to understand. But you need to understand whatever controversy is happening right now, it is because of a trust deficit that has slowly cropped up since 2019 between the union government led administration of Union Territory of Ladakh as well as the civil society organizations, predominantly these two organizations who are there looking at the interest of people of Ladakh. Now, the notes which I will be using for our today's session, you can also download them by going to a particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live, and while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. Okay, so let us start our today's discussion by understanding why these administrative decisions have been announced by the Union Territory of Ladakh. And to understand that, we need to understand the geography of the Union Territory. Now, the Ladakh geographically is spread across 60,000 square kilometers of area, which makes it the most largest union territory in the entire Indian Union. Now, on the other hand, despite its large geography, this area of Ladakh is sparsely populated because of its extreme climates. And as a result, only 3 lakh people live in the entire Union Territory of Ladakh, making it one of the least densely populated regions anywhere in the country. Now, we need to understand many villages that are there in Ladakh are separated by mountain passes. So, what is the requirement of the people? That the government should be at their nearest possible time. So, what they want grassroots level of governance, and this has been the long-standing demand of people of Ladakh. Now, in that context, the recent developments become very important. What you have to understand, as I told you, the government announced creation of autonomous hill development councils in each of Union Territory's 7 districts. Earlier, there were only 2 districts in Ladakh, that was Leh and Kargil, and these two had their respective hill area autonomous councils. But now, in April, 5 new districts were created, that is Dras, Sham, Nubra, Changthang and Zanskar. So as a result, government has now announced that we will have a autonomous hill development councils in each of these 7 districts of Ladakh. Now, why has government created these kind of autonomous hill development councils? The reason behind it is a statute which was passed by the parliament. That is the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Councils Act of the year 1997, and specifically the section 3 of this particular act. It provides for constitution of councils in each and every district through a government notification. So as a result, after creation of 7 districts, logically it was necessary that you have to create 7 councils respectively. In addition to that, another big development happened. The government has announced that they are going to create a union territory level representative body which will be created as per a customized framework under Article 371, and this union territory level body would exercise legislative powers, executive powers, financial powers as well as administrative powers. Right? So these are the 2 decisions which have been introduced by the government this week on Monday. Now we need to understand why are civil society organizations actually opposing this. You may be of the opinion that since government is introducing a institution to promote grassroots democracy, so people and civil society organizations should be happy, but that is not the case. There is a very good reason behind it. First of all, Democratic Alliance and apex body of Leh, first of all, is not against the concept of decentralized administration. So they are not opposed of the idea. Rather, they are opposed of the how this idea has been implemented in real place. So what their real objection is that they are feeling that it will lead to fragmentation of the political authority in the state, where already there is lack of representative political framework. You need to understand Ladakh is a union territory which does not even have a legislative assembly. So these civil society organizations, they actually want a political framework which should allow the people to select their representatives and govern themselves at the union territory level and also at the base level. Now what they are thinking, that since you have created 7 district councils, it would leave very little meaningful authority at the apex level organization, that is the union territory level organization, which they have been demanding to be constituted under Article 371. So this would become a bottom heavy kind of a political setup. Now, in addition to that, I told you Ladakh is a sparsely populated region, having only population of about 3 lakhs of people. And there are multiple different levels of political authorities to govern the people. At district level, there are 7 hill councils now. Then there are Panchayati Raj institutions. There is a union territory administration, which is headed by a lieutenant governor who is appointed by the Home Ministry of the Union government. And now there would be a 371 article ka representative body. And all of these different organizations would exist co-extensively. So what is going to happen, that people themselves would not know who is politically accountable for which of the decisions which is going to be implemented, and what would be the meaningful role eventually that will happen in case going forward the union government decides to fulfill the demand of creation of a legislative assembly. And in this framework, how do Panchayati Raj institutions actually fit in? Do they exist parallelly to the district councils, or would they report to the district councils? So this kind of a clarity has not been provided to the civil society organizations, and that is why they are opposing this. But is this the only gripe the civil society organizations have? The answer is no. The reason behind this is a widening trust deficit, and initially I told you this has been ongoing since the year of 2019. And why this trust deficit actually has developed between the union government and union territory administration on one hand and civil society organizations on the other? The reason is lack of political empowerment. Now what happened in 2019 when government decided to revoke Article 370, it led to creation of 2 union territories from the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. So earlier Ladakh was a part of Jammu and Kashmir state, but now that state has been bifurcated into 2 different union territories. One is Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which by the way has an elected legislative assembly, it has a chief minister, and on the other hand there is Union Territory of Ladakh, which does not have an elected legislative assembly. So this is the first grievance people of Ladakh had. They were very happy when the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated, but they were left with a hand that they did not want. And as a result, negotiations has been ongoing since 2019 up till now between the civil society organizations of Ladakh and the union government and its union territory administration in order to provide a meaningful and powerful political empowerment at a decentralized level. So earlier the demands were that a 6th schedule like safeguard should be provided. When it was understood that this kind of a protection will not be provided, then the civil society organization demanded that we want protections under the 5th schedule, that is Article 371 framework. Now this demand also has moved slowly, and therefore civil society organization feel that it is the central government which is delaying giving of substantial political reforms to people and organizations in Ladakh. And this mistrust was deepened recently after a new organization cropped up called as Voice of Buddhist Ladakh. Now the bodies like Apex Body of Leh feel that they are the sole representatives of people of Leh. But now when another pressure group, another civil society organization is vying for the same subset of people who get the leverage from, Apex Body of Leh feels that it has weakened the joint movement that the Leh and Kargil people have led through their 2 organizations, that is Kargil Democratic Alliance and Apex Body of Leh. So instead of bipolar organization, now when there is a third player, they feel that their bargaining power with respect to central government is only going to decrease. And this kind of an insecurity has bred what is called as a mistrust between the 2 sides of the same political spectrum. Now, what is the power of the district councils, how they are similar and how they are different to 6th schedule and other 5 schedule bodies. Let us try to understand this. Now on paper, you need to understand the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Councils. They are one of the most powerful autonomous statutory districts anywhere in India. Now, in terms of territorial authority, if you look at it and you keep 6 schedule bodies away, the bodies that are there in Autonomous Hill District Councils of Ladakh, they are one of the most powerful ones. Why am I saying they are one of the powerful ones? Just look at the 1997 Act of Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Councils. This act allows the Autonomous Hill District Councils and makes them responsible for district planning and development. They are also responsible for preparation of budgets and district plans. They are responsible for implementation of developmental schemes, management of land which are vested in councils, and also for collections of local taxes. Similarly, they also function as district planning and developmental board. So this kind of administrative power that they are able to exercise stems from an act passed by the Indian Parliament, and that is why I told you these are one of the most powerful statutory autonomous district councils anywhere in the country when you compare them to other 5th schedule bodies. But where do they stand when it comes to their comparison of power with 6 schedule bodies? I told you, right? Initial demand of the Ladakh Civil Society Organization was that give us the protection which is equal to a 6 schedule protection. So how is 6 schedule different than these autonomous hill district councils? Let us understand this. Now, in terms of powers, the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Councils, they are somewhere in between. At the lower half, there is 5th schedule bodies. In between, there is Ladakh Autonomous Hill District Councils, and at the top are 6 schedule bodies. 6 schedule autonomous district councils are found in just 4 states of India. That is northeastern state of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura. Now, what you need to understand, the autonomous district councils that are created once an area is designated as a 6th schedule area, all of their powers are derived from the constitution itself. And what powers do 6 schedule bodies have? They possess independent legislative power, which gives them the power to make laws on subjects like land, forest, village administration, and customary practices. In addition to that, the 6 schedule bodies also exercise judicial authority over customary matters. So they don't just have administrative powers, but they have legislative as well as judicial powers. And all of this power is sourced from where? It is sourced directly from the constitution. That is why in terms of autonomous district councils, the 6 schedule bodies are the most powerful ones. Comparing to that, the Ladakh Autonomous District Councils are only a bit inferior. They are broadly comparable to autonomous councils that exist in other northeastern states like Manipur. Now you need to understand the bodies that are created in 5th schedule areas through Article 371, like in Ladakh, like in Manipur, all of them get their power from a statute of parliament. So that is why in the pecking order of power, they are below these constitution bodies. And this actually limits how they are able to exercise their autonomy. Now, for budgetary purposes, they are dependent on funds from state government. Similarly, for manpower, they are also dependent on state government. So this in a way erodes their autonomy, which is not there with respect to the 6 schedule bodies. And that is why there are many complaints of financial dependence that they have to face with respect to state governments and limited administrative control. So this is where the current political setup of Ladakh actually stands. The people of Ladakh, through their civil society organizations, have been demanding for more meaningful political reforms. But rather than providing these kind of reforms, the government has now created a autonomous hill district councils and an Apex Article 371 body at the union territory level. But the people are not happy because they want more protections and they want a definitive delineation of powers between these two respective levels of bodies. So this is where the entire controversy actually lies. Now, the conclusion of our today's discussion is that this debate of whether the government should have created 7 hill councils or not, it is much more than the district administration itself. Rather, this is the question about in which kind of a political setup does the democratic authority of political power in Ladakh actually lie? Should it lie with the autonomous district councils? Should it lie in a powerful union territory level body which has been created under Article 371? Or is there a necessity for creation of an elected legislative assembly just like in the neighboring union territory of Jammu and Kashmir? So this is the question that still remains unanswered, and rest assured, if any related development happens on this topic, we will cover it on this very platform. Now, before we look at a practice question that can come from this kind of a topic, one question has directly come in UPSC exam. This is a very important announcement. The topic that I just covered is a very integral part of Indian polity. Fifth schedule and sixth schedule. What is the difference in the powers of these schedules, right? Similarly, to understand each and everything which is related to polity, and not just polity, subjects like economy, history, geography, internal security, international relations, etc., etc., you can get all of these classes at a very affordable rate, which is just limited to 21st of July. The rates at which you'll get your batches is 7,999, but you'll get this rate only when you go to our website, take admissions before 21st of July and apply this code ATS Live. The batches that you're going to get is based on SMART model, that is structured classes, mentorship, assessment, revisions, and tests. Now, before we wind up our today's discussion, as I told you, this is the question that I'd want you all to solve. This is a question which came in prelims of the year 2050. Just do let me know the correct answers in the comment section, and the people who are interested in these kind of topics, what do you think about this particular analysis? Do let me know in the comment section, okay? And before we wind up, this is where you'd find the notes on the Telegram channel called as ATS Live. So this is all from my side today. Please have a very good night. We'll see each other again quite soon.